Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I have a few key downloads to share with you today, and I don't quite see how they're all connected just yet, but I'll figure it out by the end of the episode. For starters, it's a reminder that you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, no matter how tough things are, no matter how dark the tunnel may seem, there's a light, and even if you can't see it, you'll see it soon. Keep doing what you know you should be doing. Keep doing what feels like the right thing for you to do. Maybe that means listening to the people around you, or maybe that means not listening to them and listening to yourself. I'm finding lately that there seems to be a chapter of my life closing. Rarely am I so aware of such a fact. There have been few times in my life where something so big has happened or I've learned some crucial piece of information where after having that experience, I knew that life would never be the same. This feels like one of those times now. I've learned these things about myself for so long that this is just following the pattern. I just have to take a pause for a second. The way I've done it in the editing is that it doesn't skip a beat. I may leave a small pause here or there, but for me it's been a couple minutes, and I just felt very worked up for a moment. Little things, little disruptions, little interruptions happening outside my room that just kind of made me pause for a second. A chapter is ending in my life. I know that for sure. I also know to trust my intuition, trust my gut. No matter how hard or uncomfortable the next steps may be, my focus is to take them, to move forward and do what I have to do. Yesterday I mentioned the topic of autism and how for a while I've been suspecting that I have autism. I am autistic. I still don't know that part. And admittedly, it's still very uncomfortable for me to say or talk about. Yesterday, I made it a point to talk to my family about it, start bringing it up in conversation and making it something that's more normal for all of us. I also had a very long phone call with a friend where I actually deeply connected with them about this topic, about how we've both suspected it for ourselves for a pretty long time. We related on our behaviors and our thoughts, our beliefs, our experiences, and it was really reaffirming. It was really helpful and it was really healing. I know that right now I'm surrounded by my team. I have people and beings in my life. I have the universe, or my team in the universe, that they have my back. They want me to do well, or at least go in the direction that I'm meant to go in, to fulfill my purpose. I know that right now I'm healing, I'm planning, and I'm growing. And I keep getting this message, this intuition, to keep doing, to keep going. I'm doing it right. At least I'm doing something right. And I think for me, that's just talking about it. Right before recording again, I asked myself, what is it that I really need? And at the time, I needed a walk. So I went on a walk. And I gave myself a little bit of time and space, some fresh air to just reset and figure out, all right, what is it that I meant to talk about? Or more importantly, what is it that I meant to think right now? My thoughts have been really jumbled up lately. It's not the best feeling all the time. I know I need to have it. It's a catalyst for me to grow. And then coming back from this walk, I asked my question again. What is it that I really need right now? And what I really need right now is to just talk about it. Talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. Because something tells me that this isn't just another chapter in my life, but it's something that's going to be a bigger part of my future. I'm all for embracing oneself and using all of our strengths to our advantages. And if I'm going to embrace all that, I need to live it. I need to embrace it in my own life. I need to accept who I am and take it a step further and appreciate it and love it. Share it with the world. I know that right now I'm being called on to share my gifts, to give to the world what I have to offer. And sometimes it's not always clear what that is exactly. It's not always clear what gifts I'm meant to share in a specific moment. By this point, I know my gifts pretty well. I know where I excel and I know where I fall back on. I've come to terms with much of it, and I'm at the point where I want to make the most of all of those things. The areas where I'm strong, I want to give to others. The areas where I'm weaker, I want to find people that can support me, mentor me, help me grow. Now especially has been an important time to pay attention, to open my eyes and really listen to what I'm feeling. I guess that's interesting to say listen to your feelings because you feel feelings. Maybe listen to thoughts, but that's tangent and one that doesn't really need to happen right now. I know that I am loved and that my love is needed right now. Whether that's loving myself, loving the people closest to me, or loving on you. I want this to be your call to stop for a moment and just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath for me real quick. Feel the air going in, settling within your body, and then slowly being released. And while I continue, I hope you take a few more deep breaths. Align yourself with your purpose. And you may not have your purpose in words, but you have it in feeling, because you never lose those feelings. So as you take your deep breaths, return to that feeling. Return to that knowing inside of you where you know you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Everything will be okay, no matter how overwhelmed you are, no matter how afraid you may feel. Just return to your heart. A lot of what I can say may sound very spiritual, very woo-woo, and I realize I say those things because I've already done this work on myself. By saying these spiritual sayings, it's like a shortcut. It's like pressing a button that runs a bunch of code. Instead of rewriting the code every single time, running through all the steps every single time, I'm able to just press a button. I'm able to just hear that statement, and a bunch of things end up happening in the background, and it helps me feel a certain way. So I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that sometimes what I say may not always make sense. It may not always be clear. And as much as it sucks to say, or should I say, as much as it sucks to hear, and ironic for me to say, that's a lot like how life treats us. Life treats us in many fun ways, many interesting ways. It's not clear, we know that. It's not easy. Sometimes it can seem complicated, but most of the times, life is quite simple. Life is one of those things that rewards you later for all the work that you put in now. The more you work on yourself now, the more you work on your relationships now, the more you work on your mission and your purpose right now, the more you'll be rewarded for it later. I feel like as I'm in this transition phase where my past and my future is morphing, it's becoming stronger, I'm being rewarded by my past and the work I've done on myself. I know that because I was brave enough to look inward, to look at my emotions, embrace them, talk about them, share them, the more I was myself, the more I grew. And all of that, all together, has made me into the strong man that I am today. And I think that I wouldn't be able to handle the idea of having autism as well as I am now if I didn't do this work before. I know how I was before. I was there. No one knows it better than I. And I could tell you firsthand that I would have been a mess. When I first learned that I had depression, or should I say when I first was diagnosed with depression, I proceeded to be depressed in bed for at least the next week, week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. At least for the next few days after finding out, I spiraled so hard I didn't get out of bed. I thought it was the end. I thought this was my debilitating thing and I would never be able to get anywhere in life or anything done. I was feeling hopeless. I was feeling worthless. But then I climbed out of it and I got much better at embracing how I felt and that it doesn't make me a bad guy. It doesn't make me a bad person. I have sympathy for men who lash out. They're angry, they're upset, and they take it out on the people around them. And while I don't condone their actions, I do feel sympathy because I know many times they're just afraid and they just haven't learned how to show it in any other way. The work I've done hasn't been easy. It's been hard, but it has been simple. It's not rocket science. And trust me, I've done rocket science before. I used to do it, albeit a slightly simplified version for the sake of a thermodynamics class. And I'll tell you, I much rather work through my emotions than ever do another rocket science question again. But that's just me. There are people who love it, and honestly, more power to them. Build those rockets, get up to space. You have my seal of approval. But the point is, I did the work that I needed to do, and I'm getting rewarded now. I'm getting rewarded with the truth, and I'm getting rewarded with more opportunities in my future, because the truth and honesty opens doors like no others in your life. Same goes for kindness. Same goes for compassion and understanding. You practice all these things and you're going to have a really rich life. Today's a short one. Calling it quits a little early. I'll be back at it again tomorrow, of course. Another day, another download, and another smile for me to give. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.